And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Okay.
We're here again. Let's see who is connecting to our stream. Let's first check if everything is working. So the first person joining in, please confirm that you can see us, that you can hear us, so that we can fix it before asking for questions.
Okay.
Everything seems to be working now. Let's wait for the first people to join. We have our weekly session. Ask me anything about e-commerce, Amazon, eBay, Shopify. Any e-commerce question is welcome. We're going to try to help you in your business. Please don't hesitate to write down your question in the comments, and we are going to pick it and answer it live for everybody. Okay, I received notification that the event is now live on Facebook, so we are definitely ready to go. A quick technical check to see if everything is working fine. So please, the first person joining, can you please confirm that you can see us and hear us correctly? Okay.
So how?
Go for it.
How's it going?
Oh, it's been an exciting week. So we are definitely not anymore in the pandemic mood, in which everything was happening according to a different way of working. Definitely everything is back to normal. We are shipping plenty of products. We are able to find plenty of deals for our online arbitrage business. So everything is back to normal, at least from an e-commerce point of view. What about you, Ari?
Pretty good. Well, my side gig is private label, so that business is going extremely well. I think it's about double the amount of sales that I had the previous period, same time last year. So my main challenge right now is to stay in stock. One of the problems that I have right now is that the shipping costs from China are like double. So yeah. I've had to put the prices much higher than they were before, but I still have, so the margin is, I've been able to keep my margin, and the sales have gone way up. So
in general, I've noticed an overall increase of prices on Amazon on a lot of products, especially those that are clear that are coming from China. The overall marketplace is changing to adapt to this increase of shipping costs. So you're not the only one, obviously.
Right, exactly.
And can you quantify this increase? How much would you?
It's about double. It's about double the shipping costs for a similar period before the COVID. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
And manufacturing cost or anything else? Is it somehow changing from China, or just the shipment?
No, I didn't see any manufacturing cost change.
Other private label related services like warehouse inspection, something like that. Is it impacted as well, or?
No, warehouse inspection has stayed the same. Manufacturing is staying the same. Let me see. Okay. So I see that we have has Joanna joined us?
Nice.
Okay.
So whoever is in the chat right now, if you can confirm that everything is working fine, so that we are ready to start. Right.
Okay.
Hello, Vanessa, who joined. I receive a confirmation. Is right. Your question in the comment if you have any comments. So we were talking about expenses for private label businesses.
Yeah.
Hi, Joanna,
So
by the way. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to the chat.
Hey, Joanna. All good. Okay, excellent. So we're going to start in a few more minutes. We were just talking about some of the changes that have been happening because of COVID-19. So shipping costs have gone up from China, but apart from that, it doesn't seem to have any other effect on our business, except for the fact that a lot more people are buying online. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, I've noticed that what I think is a lot of my competitors on the private label are selling in physical shops, and since all of the physical shops are closed, then a lot people are buying a lot more online than offline.
Yeah, future is online for retailers at least. A lot of customer took the opportunity to try out buying online, and I'm quite convinced that it's going to be very difficult for these people to go back to normal and buy everything like they were used to do. So once you get the taste of buying online without having to go outside, a lot of people are definitely staying with this new habit. Yeah,
exactly.
So all the forecasts for e-commerce 2020 and next years are definitely going up. They are definitely speeding up a lot more in respect in the previous years because of this change of habits for people to buy online.
Right.
And did you notice any change in the shipment speed? So is there any additional custom check? Do they perform any additional check on your shipments when they arrive at the destination country?
No, I just had a large shipment arrive, and it went straight through.
Okay, so nothing changed from goods shipment of goods point of view. So
correct.
Only movement of people is impacted because of coronavirus. So correct. All regular shipments are still working the old-fashioned way. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marco, let's see. Okay, so Joanna, the first question goes to you. So go ahead and ask in the chat.
I don't see her question in the chat. Am I having some delay? Last message I see is from Vanessa. So if you have a question coming from another source, maybe you're willing to share, or I lost you, Ariane. So we will welcome to the new people who join in the chat. Let me remove Ari from the streaming so that I'm all for you. So if you have any question regarding e-commerce, that can be Amazon, can be eBay, can be Shopify, can be dropshipping, private label, whichever business model you have in mind in terms of online e-commerce, please feel free to ask, and we are going to pick it and answer it to you to help you develop your business online. It's a totally open session to anybody, whoever can participate, join, beginners, advanced, no limitation. Okay, see a question coming from Johanna. Let's try to put on screen. Do you recommend selling in many platforms or just focus in one? In my case, I'm interested, Amazon FBA. Welcome back, Ari. In the meantime, we got a question from Joanna. Do you recommend selling in many platforms or just focus in one? In my case, I'm interested in Amazon FBA.
That's a great question. Oh, yes, sorry, go ahead. Do you want to take that?
Go for it.
So in general, I would recommend eventually getting to as many platforms as possible. I would focus on starting on Amazon FBA just because it's the easiest, but it's very good to also to diversify. So once you start and succeed on Amazon FBA and you got that, your next step should be opening your own shop, concentrating on, if you're in white label, then building your brand. If you are doing something else, then opening your own shop. So definitely diversification is something I highly recommend, but focus is important. So if you're starting off, Amazon is the easiest to start off. It's the easiest to get to hit the ground running. And once you finish that, I would recommend definitely moving on. So to summarize, one at a time, but definitely, yes, take over the world by all means.
This question, it's also related to what kind of business you're willing to implement. Because I would definitely not recommend any business that is using the dropshipping formula on Amazon. So I'm quite convinced that Joanna's question is referring to private label and importing products from China. But in general, in the e-commerce world, there are many ways of doing business on Amazon, and many ways of doing business that are definitely not the best using Amazon, and dropshipping is one of them. Did we answer your question, Joanna? Please don't hesitate to add more into your comment section if you have any more doubts regarding e-commerce in general. I see that you are an Amazon seller that is willing to expand, but definitely feel free to ask anything related to any channel. We are here to help you to build your business. Second question from Joanna. I'm going to publish it on screen. I am planning to buy the product research tool Jungle Scout. Is there another one you recommend?
That would, I'd say, depends. Are you looking to do private label? Are you looking to do retail arbitrage? Or are you looking to do something else?
Jungle Scout is definitely an interesting tool to analyze sales volume in the United States, in the UK, a little bit in Germany, but we find it quite inaccurate in all other marketplaces.
Yeah.
So if your objective with Jungle Scout is to find precise, or to have a very clear idea of how many sales can you expect in a specific country for your product, for a certain product category, Jungle Scout is not, in our opinion, the best choice for Spain, Italy, and France at the moment, and for all other worldwide marketplaces other than US and UK. And maybe Germany. So we found some interesting results in Germany, but definitely not as good as in the UK. So for private label, it's definitely an interesting tool to use, depending on where you are going to sell, or you're expected to sell your products. If you're going to sell in Europe, definitely, if your favorite marketplace is UK, Jungle Scout is a good option. So I have a follow-up question. Which one you recommend for Spain? What do you think, Ari? Which one is your favorite estimation tool for Spain?
For Spain, I would say Helium 10, definitely.
Helium 10, yeah. And if you want to make your life harder, you can pick product by product and analyze key graphs. So that's the most precise way, but definitely the most time-consuming. If yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, okay. Hello, Mathieu. Welcome to the live stream. Feel free to ask your question in the comments. I see that you already did. Hello, all. I'm going to publish it on screen. So, Joanna, please write us if you believe that you need more clarification on your question. We are here to help you. So if you haven't been exhaustive with our answers, please don't hesitate. So I'm going to publish Mathieu's question on screen. Hello, all. What are the main drivers for conversion, optimization, personalization you would think of for an e-commerce for supermarkets? I'm not really sure that I understand this question. E-commerce for supermarkets. Can you be more specific, Matteo? What do you mean e-commerce for supermarkets? As a B2B platform to sell to supermarkets, or an e-commerce that is selling groceries and other supermarket products? I'm not sure that I got your question. So before answering, I would like some more detail so that we can be more, we can help you better. Mathieu. Other main drivers of conversion, optimization, personalization you would think of for an e-commerce for supermarkets? Yeah. Do you, let's say, an e-commerce for Dia? Yes, selling groceries. Okay. So to sell groceries. Do you have any insights on that, Ari? What do you think?
Well, so selling groceries is a very different market from selling on Amazon. When you sell groceries, first of all, you have to have usually you would have your own infrastructure, so you wouldn't use, because usually when you sell on Amazon, so the differences, right? So you sell on Amazon, you can either use Amazon FBA, in which case, all the logistics is taken for you. If you're selling groceries, then you usually run your own logistics. So that means you have to have a fleet of trucks, and you have to worry about expiration. Certification is much more complicated. You have to have all of the certifications. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about what your interest is and what you are doing in this market?
So as a European marketplace, Amazon is still not particularly structured for grocery products. There are some, how do they call it, gourmet products, like wine or long-lasting grocery products without any expiration date, or with a very long expiration date. But for short-term products, I see in Europe that Amazon is still very poor in terms of offer, and the prices are still not competitive in respect of other big grocery stores all over Europe. So Amazon is still not competitive enough for sellers to sell a lot of grocery products in Europe. I repeat, in the States, we are talking about a completely different thing. So we have a follow-up clarification from Mathieu. I am working on a couple of projects. I understand your point. My question is not so relevant for FBA and eBay-like products. Okay, so we share them. So can you tell us more about your project, Mathieu, so that we can help you out? I imagine that you're willing to open an online shop selling grocery products. Let me know if I'm correct. In this case, Amazon would be your last selling platform in this case. And then eBay as well, definitely. It's not an interesting platform for selling groceries in Europe. If your question is related to, in general, how to sell groceries online, my best advice would be to start using a Shopify platform. So to have your own infrastructure, to have your own logistic distribution, and to take care of your inventory and your customer with your own means, without using any marketplace.
Right.
So now that we have definitely a better understanding of your question, it's even better. We have definitely more information to answer your original question that is still on screen. What are the main drivers of conversion, optimization, personalization? We will think of an e-commerce for supermarkets. So I would say that in general, any e-commerce that is based on self-hosted platform is having a set of different options to start and to track progresses and reports. The most popular platform is definitely Shopify, but there are a lot of other platforms that are as good as Shopify. We have, what was that, PrestaShop. We have Magento platform for e-commerce, WooCommerce that is using WordPress. So in terms of e-commerce platform, you have plenty of options. If you want to have more details about your conversion, your customers, the trends of your customer, also here we have a huge set of options, and it really depends on how much you are willing to spend in terms of tools. So how expensive and how rich you want this tool to be, and on top of that also, what's your plan in terms of marketing strategy? So what kind of sources you have in mind to drive traffic to your website? Fundamentally, when you have your own website, whichever is the technology you're using, you want to drive people from other channels, social media, Google, mailing lists. So all these tools, I'm quite sure that you know about them. And once they are in your website, you want to convert them into customers and to make them recurring customers. So whichever tool a regular self-hosted platform is using to track conversion, it's definitely applicable to grocery products as well. What do you think, Ari?
Yeah, I have nothing to add. I agree.
Please, Mathieu, let us know if you would like to have more insights on this. The Shopify reality, the e-commerce reality outside Amazon is extremely vast, and options really depends on your budget availability and your expectation in terms of analysis and results. So it's very difficult to recommend one single tool that is the best of the best, because it really depends on which activities you are expecting to do and what kind of aspects you want to track of your e-commerce business. So I see that more people are joining the chat. So please, first of all, welcome to all the new joiners. Please write your question in the comments so that we're going to pick it. We are here to talk about e-commerce in general. This is an AMA session, so ask me anything. Feel free to ask your questions in the comment. We are going to pick them live and to answer them right away. I don't see any other questions for the moment, so let's wait for people to join and to write their question.
Marco, maybe while we wait, could you tell us a little bit about this is a planned question that I've put it in. Could you tell us a little bit about online arbitrage and the platform that we have for online arbitrage?
Yeah, sure. Let's profit of this moment of silence from our followers to talk about who we are and what we are busy with. So for those that don't know me, my name is Marco, and at the moment I'm an Amazon seller selling popular brands. So it's a quite unknown business model here in Europe. It's very popular in the United States, I have to be honest, but here in Europe it's still quite unknown. These definitely leads to the few people that are taking this opportunity in this period, a huge set of opportunities with very little competition. My business model is fundamentally searching catalogs from wholesalers and the retailers in Europe. So without the hassle of importing products from China, sourcing locally here in Europe and selling them on Amazon, obviously for a profit. My business model is based on the fact that I have to analyze quite huge catalogs in a very short time and identify those few products that are still profitable and can have they can be considered as selling opportunities on Amazon. It's a very unknown, I repeat, it's a very unknown way of doing business here in Europe. It's starting right now in this period. A lot more people are getting their attention on this business model. Everybody is still focused on private label. Can you hear me?
Is it me or is it you?
I haven't changed anything, so.
Okay.
Okay.
sorry. My bad.
So I just to wrap up, because I see that there is another question from Joanna. The business I'm currently carrying on is extremely profitable because the competition is none, and it's still, I can consider it still a blue ocean in the European reality. Very few people are buying products from Europe to resell them in Europe. A lot of people are buying from China, are doing private label, they are importing products. So that kind of market is definitely being more popular in Europe, and it's getting more and more popular. But the business model that I carry on, so reselling popular brands, is something new here in Europe, and therefore still extremely interesting because no competition is available here. Mm-hmm. And what Ari also asked me to talk about our project. So besides this amazing weekly podcast, we have decided to structure a program, a system to help other sellers, other e-commerce entrepreneurs to start their own business reselling popular brands here in Europe, because we see that there is a lot of potential for a lot of new sellers that are still, let's say, the market is still huge. A lot of new sellers can join. And we want to bring forward this business model in Europe so that more and more people are going to take advantage of this way of doing business that is still not so well known over here. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to write them in a comment or to contact us after the live streaming is over. So now I see that there is another question. Do you have anything to add, Ari, about this before moving to the next question? What do you think?
Yeah, just a little bit more. So just to reiterate, we are opening a program for people who want to go into business. It's a great way if you're just starting off, or if you already have an existing Amazon business and you're looking to expand. Going into online arbitrage is very quick to set up, so you can be all up and running within 2 weeks and selling products on Amazon. We have a program where we do the training and we provide you access to the software, and we provide you for a few shops to start getting along, and you'll be up and running and selling products. We have our first student that started a month ago, already has products that's on sale on Amazon, and it's just a great way to learn about Amazon. It's a great way to start a business, and you can scale up. The advantage is that you can start with a very small budget and you can scale up very quickly. So if you have any more questions about that, please contact us in private and we will work you through the program. Okay, so I see Joanna has another question.
Yeah, I have moved it to screen. I think it's for you, this one.
Okay, back to FBA, starting inventory. What do you recommend in terms of quantity, and which categories are the ones you would say are good? Okay, so in terms of categories that are good, everything is good. There are certain categories definitely I would stay away from as a first-time seller. So anything that goes on your body or in your body. So supplements and food inside your body and on your body, creams and stuff like that. Obviously, anything that's a little bit sketchy, like CBD products, all of that stuff are prohibited, so you can't even sell it, even if you wanted to. But stay away from that. Also, things that are gated. So jewelry is complicated. There's other categories that I would stay away from. Anything else is fine. I mean, the best way to do is to go into Amazon, click on the search box to the left of the search box. There's a list of all the categories, and just look at what categories are available. I think anything goes. It's obviously it's best to start with the products that you use, that you're familiar with, maybe you worked with. A very good recommendation is to create a touch list, which is a technique that we've spoken in previous programs on. Basically, what it means is that you take a notepad and a pen and a paper, and you just write down everything that you touch during the week. Obviously, right now during COVID, touch things as little as possible, maybe. But if you see something, if you use something, just write it down. And a lot of people found it a very effective way to discover products. So it could be hobbies that you do. It could be products that you buy. It could be stuff that you buy on Amazon. Write down everything, and within 2 weeks, you will have a long, long list of stuff that might be interesting. What I would not recommend as product discovery is using Jungle Scout to find possible products. So you can use Jungle Scout or Helium 10 or whatever software that you like in order to validate something that you found, but you won't be able to use it to find something new. So to generate new ideas, the daily touch list is the best way to go. If you want to validate it, then use one of the softwares that are available, like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout.
What about the other part of the question? There was also a question regarding
quantity. Sorry,
quantity.
Yes. Yeah. So what so first you have to get your hands on a sample. Don't never ever buy quantities before you hold it in your hands. Now, what I like to do, and we've done it with quite a few students, it's been very successful, is instead of getting 1 or 2, you get 10 samples. You tell them, listen, I work for a company. I want to give it to all of the people to try it. I want 10. And the advantage of that is you obviously you have it shipped to your home. Don't ever have it shipped directly to Amazon on the samples. Obviously, eventually you want to ship directly to Amazon, but your first samples you ship to home. You make sure they're okay. You label it yourself, and if you like it, you put it up to sell on Amazon, and this gives you the ability to do a market study without too much costs. Now, you're going to get pushback from a lot of suppliers. Suppliers say, no, we don't do 10, we only do 2. Depends. Sometimes you can, depends on your negotiating skills, sometimes you can, sometimes it just won't do it. Obviously, if you get pushback, you tell them, I don't mind to pay a little bit more. I understand that it's a small quantity. Expect to pay at the very least, retail price, sometimes even double retail price. It doesn't matter however much they ask you to pay. Obviously, try to negotiate down if you can. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. It's a very, very cheap and inexpensive way to discover if you made the right choice or you made a mistake. Because if you buy a large quantity and you made a mistake, then that's a much more expensive mistake. Whereas if you buy 10 products and you put them on Amazon and you take the photos and everything and you see it still doesn't sell, then you will be able to you'll live to fight another day. Okay, you won't spend all the money that you had in the first stock and lose everything. So that's my opinion. What do you think, Marco?
I totally agree. Proceed step by step. Never buy too much before having some kind of proof that the product is valid enough. So always ask for sample. It's a common sense for any business to start with sample and then scaling up as soon as you have a confirmation that what you're buying is what you actually expect. Okay, I'm going to put back the screen. Let's see the comments. I see that more people are joining the streaming. So for those that joined a few minutes ago. Please write your question in the comments, and we are going to answer it during this live session. We are here to help you with your e-commerce business, if it's about Amazon, if it's about eBay, if it's about Shopify or other online selling platform. We are definitely here to help you. Please write your question in the comment, and we are going to answer it right away. So while we wait for other questions to pass by, I would like to go deeper in the subject of starting an e-commerce business, and maybe why not an Amazon business in this period. What do you think, Ari? I've heard a lot of very annoying rumors of people discouraging to do that, but I think it's just people lying about Amazon being oversaturated. The products are too expensive to have them shipped from China. The margins are too small. What do you think about the current situation?
I think Amazon is a horrible place to. You should never do it. Don't come and compete with us, because we're selling. It's our business, and if you come and compete with us, no, I'm just kidding. Amazon is a wonderful marketplace to start. We have most of my sales are coming from Amazon. We have started with a few students that are doing white labels, and they're already starting to see success. The thing about starting a business on Amazon is basically the same as starting a business anywhere. If you do everything right, and you can talk to us, we can work with you, we can help you make sure that you do everything right. But if you do everything right and you do all of the steps, you are better than 95% of the people that are going to it. Most of the people that go in and fail on something that's very easy and clear. So we have our checklist. We have the list of things that you have to do, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not a secret. You have to start with doing the market research. Obviously, finding the product is the most challenging part by far. But once you do that and you find a product and you start doing the marketing and you invest in PPC campaigns and you invest in everything, you will be successful. This is, and it reminds me the old days of the SEO. People, I've been in the internet from, you can tell by the lack of hair on my head that I've been in a while in this, and people used to come and talk about SEO, and people used to look for these dirty little tricks on how to cheat the system and how to cheat Google. If people just went to Google and went to the webmaster tools and went to what Google suggested and implemented all of the SEO suggested, all the SEO suggestions that Google itself made, you would be ahead of 90% of the pack. So just get your head down, do the work, you do the recommendations, you do the best practices, and you will have to do a business. Obviously, it takes work, but if you do it, I believe that you will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Joanna, I see you have another question.
Yep, I'm going to put it on screen. Last question about markets in Spain. Good to start with, as the demand is a lot higher in US or UK.
Good question. So right now, for my private label brand, the US is the #1 marketplace. If you're talking about a single marketplace. But for instance, I sell a lot more in Europe. Now, it's very important to remember that when you sell in Europe, it's very easy to sell in 5 and now 6 marketplaces, right? So you have Spain, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Italy. So that's 6 marketplaces. And if you ship to one place, you can sell to all 6 at the same time. Obviously, you will have to do some work in translations, but that's relatively easy to do. Amazon will help you with that. And the European market is very, very large. Now, there is really, this day and age, unless you have some financial challenges, there is no reason to start only in Spain. So I started my business started in Spain. I sell a water sports brand called Hotsphere. You can check it out. It's currently #1 seller in its category on Amazon, and it started in Spain, and that was my bread and butter. The advantage of starting in Spain is the competition was much less than the United States, which means I was able to sell and be ranked and get reviews earlier than if I started in the US. Now, I'm selling now in the US. I'm well ranked in the US as well now, but it was easier to start in Spain. There's nothing wrong with starting in the US if you can manage it. The US is much more competitive. My ranking is still lower in the US and the UK than it is in Europe. But since the volumes are much higher, then of course I am selling a lot more.
Last time I checked some Amazon statistics. Obviously, in terms of shares, so how many sellers are present in each marketplace? US marketplace is something like 5 times bigger than every other European marketplace. And in Europe, the top 2 ones are Germany and UK, that are taking in terms of market share, joined 66% of the total. So this means that the remaining 33% is given to the other remaining 4. So if you put things in comparison, you can clearly see that a lot more customers are not in Spain. Spain is definitely a growing marketplace, although with a lot of potential. But if you compare the number of users and therefore customers in Spain in respect of other marketplaces, there are definitely bigger marketplaces where a lot more users and clients are going to buy from. Let's put back the write your question in the comments. So for those who recently joined, this is an AMA session. We ask any question related to e-commerce, Amazon, eBay, Shopify, whichever platform you have in mind to start your own e-commerce business. Feel free to shout your question in the comments, and we're going to pick it live. I see that we answer all the live questions so far. So let's go back to our talking. So do you have any observation about the current pandemic situation regarding Amazon? Ari, what do you think?
Well, all you have to do is you have to take a look at how much richer Jeff Bezos is because of the coronavirus. Amazon is very, very conscious about its own image. So it knows that people are looking at envy at Jeff Bezos, and when people see somebody very successful, there's 2 kinds of people. There's the people who want to imitate him, and there's people who want to knock him down. So Jeff Bezos got a lot richer, and because of that, he is very, very much afraid of a public relations nightmare. So, for instance, if there is any people who have raised their prices even a little bit on anything connected to coronavirus, they have been kicked out of Amazon and they will not be able to come back. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to understand Amazon doesn't care about you. If you're a seller and you're selling $1 million a month, and you do something that Amazon is afraid is going to reflect badly on it, it will kick you out. And getting back is difficult. And sometimes it's not even possible. And it requires lawyers and stuff like that. So in terms of what the marketplace, number 1, opportunity is a lot bigger because people are moving more and more online. And this is going to stay well after, I believe it's going to, the world is not going to go back to what it was before. So people are going to buy much more online. But on the other hand, you have to be careful with what you what you do, because Amazon is keeping an eye on the sellers and making sure that the sellers are behaving.
Yep. Yeah, definitely agree. The Amazon marketplace is a very good opportunity for a lot of sellers, but the rules are not forgiving. So if you fail on Amazon requirements, if you do something that is against the term of service, Amazon doesn't care who you are and how much have you been selling. You're going to be required to unlock your account, and this is going to be a very painful exercise, unfortunately. We heard a lot of sellers that went through this process. So it's that in most of the cases, there's always possibility to recover from mistakes, but indeed it won't be easy. So you better read carefully what Amazon requires you to do and to respect the term of services, and you better respect them as much as possible. So stay away from counterfeit products in this period. It's very easy to get suspended if you sell products that violates any kind of intellectual property. Stay away from playing with high prices on COVID-19 related products. This is another very good way to get suspended very quickly. In general, everything that is somehow creating damage for the public image of Amazon is not a good option to do unless you really aim to have your account suspended. And Amazon is getting stricter and stricter in these checks, and it's even harder to recover your account after something like that is happening.
Good.
So I don't see any other question coming. Let's leave our followers a few more minutes to ask their question. Otherwise, we can call it a day. And looking forward for the same session next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Spanish time. We had quite an interesting session today. We answered a lot of questions regarding private label, regarding online arbitrage, regarding even e-commerce outside Amazon. So we can definitely say that we had a bunch of interesting questions that require some interesting talk from us. So definitely a good session from my point of view.
Marco, where can we find more information about the online arbitrage platform, the platform that enables you to get started quickly on Amazon selling products?
Everything is available as an information on our website, www.ecommercers.eu. So there you can find all the information you might need in order to understand what our offer is about. Otherwise, you can check our Facebook page for having a real-time demonstration of the possibilities of the business that we are talking about, so reselling popular brands. There are a couple of interesting videos in which we explain step-by-step how it's done. So you have plenty of opportunities to get in touch with our business model, with this business model as we do it. And obviously, you are always free to reach us via email or via Facebook Messenger. And we are definitely going to be happy to help you understand more about this business model and guide you through the process if you decide to join this wonderful adventure with us.
Yes, and please subscribe if you liked it, if you enjoyed what you saw. Then please go ahead and subscribe to our Facebook page. We periodically post interesting articles and stuff that's it's going to be interesting for anybody that's getting started or is already in the e-commerce space. Great. So
I don't see any more questions. Yeah.
No further questions. I think we can wrap up for today.
Yep. I invite you to join us next week, 7 p.m. Thursday. We're going to have another Ask Me Anything question. So if you didn't have the opportunity to ask us the question that you have regarding e-commerce, Amazon, eBay, Shopify, please don't hesitate to join us next week and keep asking us questions.
Cool.
For the rest, have a nice evening and see you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.